Hello, my name is Dilek Fraisl. I'm a researcher at the International Institute for Applied Systems Analysis, and I will talk about citizen science today and how it could complement Earth observation approaches in addition to traditional sources of data as part of our Earth Observation Toolkit for SDG 11 partnership. But first, I would like to thank the moderators for inviting me to speak in this session. First of all, what is citizen science? There is no agreed definition of the term, but our approach to it is an inclusive one. So we define citizen science broadly as the voluntary public participation in scientific research and knowledge production. Some relevant terms would be community-based monitoring, participatory research, citizen-generated data, and crowdsourcing. We recently published a paper in the journal Sustainability Science on the contributions of citizen science data to SDG monitoring. Our findings show that the greatest potential for citizen science data for SDGs would be in SDG 11 and SDG 15, which is directly related to our Earth Observation Toolkit efforts. One example I would like to give in terms of SDG 11 is the City Oasis project or app for the indicator 11.7.1. This indicator is about the built-up area of cities that is open space for public use. Measuring how much public space a city has doesn't give an idea on whether people actually benefit from them. This is where citizen science approaches could come in to complement Earth observation data, as it could help collect additional information on the perception of residents about these open public spaces. City Oasis aims to improve the database of open urban spaces and their use in Vienna. Participants could use the City Oasis app to add open public spaces, upload photos, rate these spaces, and answer questions on how safe they find them, and answer other questions such as if they are noisy or clean, and others. The project is a partnership between IASA and the City of Vienna. The important thing is that City of Vienna plans to use the results of the project to improve its database on open public spaces and identify people's perceptions on them. Another example where citizen science and Earth observation approaches could complement each other is the SDG indicator 11.5.2. This indicator is about the economic loss and damage attributed to disasters. Citizen science initiatives such as PicturePile could inform this indicator. PicturePile is designed to be a generic and flexible tool for ingesting imagery that can be rapidly classified by volunteers. These images can be high-resolution satellite images, images from drones, or geotagged photographs. The app asks volunteers whether they see any damaged building in the photos shown. Developed by IIASA, PicturePile has also been used to collect data on slum mapping or poverty assessment, among other areas and indicators. Other indicators such as the urban population living in slums and many others under SDG 11 or other SDGs could benefit from the combined use of Earth observation and citizen science approaches, and these were only just a few examples of them. In terms of the challenges we encountered using citizen science approaches for SDG monitoring, I can talk about the Citizen Science for SDGs Ghana project. As part of this project, led by IASA and SDSN Trends, we are working with the Ghana Statistical Service, UNEP, Convention on Biological Diversity, and others to apply citizen science approaches for a few indicators identified by Ghana based on their data needs, such as marine litter data. We're still at the early stages of the project, but one of the issues we face is to reach out to, bring in, and coordinate with the key stakeholders. And we saw that the coordination between government agencies is particularly important in such projects. Another challenge is that the COVID. Actually, the COVID limits our data collection capacity to a great extent and delays our implementation in the specific of the indicators we're working on in Ghana. Additionally, organizing workshops and training events for data collection activities will also be difficult, but we plan to do all these online. My recommendation to countries and cities that want to improve their monitoring and implementation capacities, especially in the specific of SDG 11, is that they can have a look at the existing practices based on their data gaps and needs. Just search for what is available out there in terms of tools, data, and also examples, by which I mean the experiences from others. Of course, while considering their national and local contexts. Our Earth Observations for Sustainable Cities and Communities toolkit could be very helpful in that sense. So they can certainly have a look at the list of relevant data sets and tools we're producing, and additionally, they can check out the success stories and country and city experiences we're working on. Of course, getting in touch with our group when they need support would certainly be useful. As part of this effort, we also plan to facilitate country-to-country or city-to-city learning and organize trainings, workshops, and so on. In terms of the potential of Earth observation and citizen science approaches, I think it's clear that if we want to achieve the SDGs, we need to be able to track our progress towards them, and we need accurate and timely data for that. The funding needed to measure all the SDG indicators using only traditional data sources is a huge barrier, particularly for developing countries. So we need to utilize new sources of data, such as Earth observation and citizen science. I think this holds true when I talk about both citizen science and Earth observations approaches. One of the major lessons is that all these efforts require an enabling environment where supportive institutional, technological, financial, and policy-related actions are in place. Additionally, building key partnerships will help to ensure ownership among all the stakeholders, which is essential for the success of the project. Thank you very much for your attention, and I will be happy to answer any questions you have. Thank you.